Hello everybody and welcome back to SWU Farms, the survival let's play challenge that we are working on FS25. Last episode we used all of our money to invest in a brand new sawmill prior to really finding out if our current sawmill was going to be enough to make us a ton of money. We also installed this beautiful mushroom greenhouse that is producing a good amount of mushrooms for us. We have everything stacked over here so far, prepping for when prices are at their best, which looks like it's going to be March. So just kind of keeping things organized so that when it comes time to sell it, we can, load it up pretty quick and get it over to the sales location. But right now the plan with the sawmill is to just let it go through, or the little sawmill here, to let it go through the 12,000 units of wood. And at that point, we'll probably repurpose this land here and go ahead and sell that and make a little bit of cash from it. But we did take the couple of large trees that were in the back here that we had pushed to the side last episode and have loaded them into this new sawmill. And we have the leftover from that didn't fit here that will be accepted soon. Let's see how much of it we can actually get in there. And nothing. Okay, so it is pretty much at capacity. I was trying to cut these pieces to be a little bit smaller to be accepted, but we'll have to let it burn through some time. I did a little bit more detailing off camera here. We did remove one tree here, and that's actually in the sawmill as well to flatten this area out. So we should have enough room. We might need to cut down another row of trees here and extend this flat ground out a little bit farther for maneuvering around the sawmill. But that's a task for another day. Today we're gonna start clearing another area for our next project over here. So we have this entrance road that comes in, and to the right we go to the sawmill, but here we wanna make a brand new entrance for our next production, which I believe what we're gonna go with is the stone processing plant. So we got the chainsaw out to start cutting down the trees. We have a lot of them marked already. And the big ones, gosh, these ones are just gonna stay around and slowly get fed into the sawmill. But these other skinnier ones, just like we did last episode, we will load up on the trailer and make money instantly from them. So I'm gonna get busy. I think what we'll do, since we know we're gonna sell these skinny ones, let's prioritize those first, get all those sold, and then we'll have a little bit more room to maneuver around the big trees when we fell them to get them closer to the sawmill to prep to be installed there. Well, this feels like a good first trip for the day, so let's go ahead and work our way to the store, and we'll check the sales locations and see which one's the best price today for lumber, for wood, and make some money. So I'm excited about this, and there are contracts that there is a contract that I'm wanting to see if we can get, and we'll do that after we get to the store. But there is a snowstorm coming in around 2 o'clock, so it might be 1 o'clock. So I want to get to that contract next, and then we can get back to our preparation. This one might take us multiple months, but it's gonna be worth it. Let's get to the store, make some money off this wood, and then look into that contract. So I believe we got $18,000 for our best load at the paper mill so far. So we're heading over to the sawmill here in town, but this is the place we will be selling today. This sawmill here specifically. There's a lot of sawmills in this town, a lot of competition for the businesses that we're getting into. All right, let's go ahead and unstrap there and see if we are able to get all these sold in one go. I have a feeling that one's going to be out of the spot. Yeah, a couple of them are, and we'll just help out a little bit here. So that was 10,000 already, and then another 12 or 2,000, so just over 12,000, almost $13,000 today. Not a bad start. Let's go ahead and head over to the dealership so we can be in proximity of our equipment we're about to borrow from this farmer to do a contract for him. There is a cultivating contract for $20,000 that we will be doing today. Look at this case quad track. This should be fun. Should have enough power to do this. All right, and we are headed to field 26, which is all the way in the south. I'll see you in a few. I think we're getting pretty close to not having time to do contracts anymore. We're gonna get busier and busier on our own property, so I'm trying to make as much money as possible while we do have the free time and the ability to do these contracts, because money's gonna slow down a little bit if we can't. We've been making a lot of money off of contracts. I think we made over 90,000. It might have been over 100,000 last month off a contract. So this one's gonna be a little bit less. Gotta head up this road and then take a right, and we'll be heading towards that field. But Man, loving this series so far. The progress we're making is pretty sweet. We're going to do the stone production next, which means we need to save up money for the cement factory. And then potentially we'll be building our own house and maybe our own sheds. I'm not satisfied with the buildings that we have available to us to build on the constructibles. So we might put one down, do the whole build process, and then replace it with the sheds we want. Is kind of the way I'm thinking of getting around the lack of good options that we have. Is this our road? Yes, okay. But yeah, that's kind of my thought with the constructibles, and I do want to earn everything, and I think this is going to turn out to be a pretty fun series. And I've been kind of giving a look at where I want to start making those fields, and that'll be coming pretty soon. I think after we get through probably this winter and spring, we might get to the point where we're clearing land enough to start thinking about buying a tractor and a plow potentially, or the equipment we're going to need for making that farm, or getting to actually farming our own land and not just doing farming on contracts. So those are the plans, and let's make another 20 grand here, and it shouldn't be that bad with this huge equipment. Like, all these fields are bigger than I think. When we look at the map, like, you look at this, it doesn't look that big on the mini map, but then you get over here and they're good size. All right, and we're set to go on this contract. By default, we can go 7 miles an hour. That's not bad, but we're gonna push it. We are gonna push it. We're gonna change cruise control down to about 11. Speed override there, and see if this tractor can handle that speed. Get this contract done a little bit quicker. That's the way we enjoy doing things. I'll see you on the other side. Well, I feel like this is my size of a contract. I do like this. It's a good enough to get some farm work done and enjoy it, and not too long that I feel like we're missing out on progress on our own property. So I think we found a good medium, and we're just done with the 2 headlands here. Now I'm trying to figure out, it is going to want us to go this way for the ups and downs. That makes sense. When we get to the skinny part, you know, most of the skinny part of this field, as we look at the mini map a little larger, you can see to my left right now, there is a skinnier area, but most of it was done with the headlands. So, you know, we're at 54% already, struggling a little bit up this hill. But I think this contract's gonna be fine without us having to use the power tools, but we'll see at the end there. Well, 91%, a little bit left to do. I think we're gonna be okay. I don't know if there's been an update yet to precision farming to fix the bugs with the contracts, but either way, we will prevail. We know how to fix it. We'll get it done and get back to making our new production area. 99%. Yeah, we got it. We got this one. Nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and start heading home. But first, collect our $19,827. Gets our total to $33,000 for the day. Not a bad start. I think we will head back and do a little bit more lumber work and see if we can get that area completely cleared, and potentially see if there's any planks at the sawmill yet. at the new sawmill. We did kind of leave in a hurry last time, so we didn't get to see the progress that we've made. So this area is cleared out here. We got, yeah, a good amount of stumps to take care of still. And these trees here to fell, these ones as well. This one I can't seem to get the branches to go away, or let's just show it. So if we go into the map, super strength's on, nothing is letting me grab this, and then when I have the chainsaw, nothing's letting this go away. So I don't know what to do here. Kind of hoping that disappears when, let's try the skid steer here. Let's see if we can pick this up, or if it's just a weirdness of these tree types. I've noticed the limbs on these ones are a little strange. The colors are really different, where I don't know if this is a base game tree or not. Yeah, just we phase right through it. I had a feeling. So I don't know what's going on with that. That might be there forever. Hopefully it goes away when we reload in. And it might be worth finding out right now. Otherwise, that's gonna be kind of a pain. But let's go ahead and get this parked, and I am gonna save and reload. Let's find out together. It's still there, so let's see. That should be fun. So this limb, this first one that looks like a snake here, that one does move. But this one just is gonna be here forever, I guess. We'll figure it out. It'd be similar to, you know, the box in New Lands that was in the grass field all the time. That showed up after a map update. All right, so these big ones we're going to keep around until we can put them in here, but we will clear the area, but we're just prioritizing those last. We'll probably start making a pile like around this area, and then we'll be able to just push these in here. So nothing produced yet, but we're close to some planks, and gosh, this is sweet. So let's see if we can get a little bit more of this in here now. I don't know why none of this stuff, like it can't be. Oh, no, some did go. There was some smaller chunks that went in, but this one's got to be less than 1,000. You tell me that's, what does it say? Yeah, it's nothing. It's 47 liters, so I guess it'll be fine. It needs to get a little bit lower before it'll actually accept some more, I think is what's happening there. So let's get these other ones that we're going to, and I'm kind of worried about the limbs on this one now. Maybe we won't delimit and we'll just deal with it on the trailer that way. So let's get the rest of these cut down and get this area prepped. Oh, we got it. I got it. All right, it magically delimbed. Okay, so now I'll just work it on the rest of this one. Oh, okay, that makes me feel better. Hopefully there's not another one that becomes a pain here, but just got to find the sweet spot, I guess, on these. Yeah, these ones are the ones that are being a pain. It's turning out nice, though. This map has a perfect setup for what I was wanting to do. I can't wait to get this part done today. This is going to be sweet. Well, it appears that the snow is starting to get here, and we have another, you know, janky load here going to the sawmill. And we're gonna make a decent amount of money on this one, and I think that is all that we're gonna sell today. The rest we're gonna move over and prep for the sawmill. Though I'm kind of thinking we could have 3 or 4 sawmills, the amount of lumber we're going through. Let's go see how much this one's worth. It should be a good payday, like I said, and then we'll get moving on clearing the land a little bit more, the ground of it, and getting it prepped for the new building. Though we might have to wait a couple months until we have enough funding to pay for that building. You try to get a better approach here. See if we can get this sold in one go this time. And I think that's gonna do it. Things don't fall too far off, which I think they did. Let's see. 19,000. Yeah, that's our biggest payday. I had a feeling. And do a little bit more there. Just one little shrub. It's a little stick there. So we're at 53,000. All right, now it's time to get over there. The big trees we do need to move, but this snowstorm, I don't know how bad it's gonna get. It's gonna get a little wet over there from this snow. 53, that's not bad. I think it's 80 grand is what we're looking for. Let's full send this right here. Nice. Yeah, let's get back. Make some more progress. Some more good production from the little sawmill, and it's got 11,000 to burn through. So we're gonna make a good amount of money just off of this before selling it. So hopefully it burns through all that before March. But just this little one here, which I think we can just take over to the sawmill. And we got a couple here that we prepped. I decided to just leave these ones and we'll push them over when we have capacity in here. I think that'll be the easiest way to deal with it. And then we're gonna have to get these big trees cut down too next. Though this one I'm tempted to leave, though I don't know if I can get the X off of it. Should have thought about that before I did that, huh? All right, so let's get this fired up. All right, so let's back up and make sure we have a good view of what we're doing. So I kind of wanted this to be kind of like a 4-way stop eventually. So yeah, that tree is definitely gonna have to go. That's why we were thinking that. Not a 4-way stop, a 4-way intersection is what I meant. So let's go ahead now and lower it. Get it lowered, yep, to where it turns green. And we'll be able to start creating our entrance here. And just kind of clearing and turning it into dirt everywhere that is clear so we can see the working space we have out here. Yeah, this is fun. Terraform is amazing, guys. Check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna get this all prepped and then we'll take a look when we're done. That's pretty good. We'll have to get these 3 trees out of the way to see if we are correct on the size. You know, the size of this building will dictate if we're gonna clear more trees. So we'll do the same thing we did with the sawmill. Even though we don't have the funding yet, we can still get an idea. But I do want to get these 3 trees moved over. Yeah, let's get them cut down. There we go. Make sure we can find a spot where we can cut it. We want to go as low as possible. That'll do. Okay, this is gonna be awkward. So the 3 trees are cut down, but how are we gonna move them? Okay, let's make sure that's not activated anymore so we don't accidentally paint. I don't know if this is more powerful than the skid steer. I imagine it is. And it does look like the tracks are going backwards on this thing. Did get a comment about that. No go there. All right, here. Oh, come on. Should have done one at a time, buddy. Definitely gonna need some stronger equipment around here. All right, that doesn't seem to be too bad. Now, if we can just get that out of the way enough to be able to see if the building's gonna fit, I would be happy with that. So let's get this cleared so we don't damage it. All right, we can get back over here and start pushing this to the perimeter as much as we can. Yeah, let's get a little bit farther up here, about right there. Nope, got to go to the edge, I guess. Right there, we're having better luck. Maybe I lower that a hair and then lift it. Yeah, we're lifting now. Let's try this plan again. We're just gonna have to shimmy this a little bit. I think if it might break loose from the other tree. I'm wondering if we just cut a couple limbs here, if that would be the best course of action. Broke these things free from each other. Like if we went about right there. Now let's see if that freed us up to push this a little easier. It appears to, okay. So we don't necessarily want it on our access road, but got to get it clear just to see. And it's got to go all the way to the sawmill eventually, so we are kind of pushing it the wrong direction right now, but that's not bad. Yeah, that's just a cluster here of trees. All right, I'm gonna get these things sorted out and then we'll rejoin you. Now looking at this, I don't know if this is gonna be enough space, though that looks good. So the thing I was kind of thinking is we have this sawmill here. This road could naturally be an entrance here as well. And so we could have 2 entrances, or an exit and an entrance. Let's find this production and see how large it is. So it is $99,000. And this is one that has snapping issues. So it has to go a certain direction, and I think right there is where we're gonna want it. I just wanna make sure, yeah, that's actually, we'll push it back as far as we can, but that's enough space cleared. The next thing we'll do here is we'll swap out implements on the skid steer so that we can get those stumps taken care of. Ooh, we got a plank over here. Actually, lighting might help here. All right, we got this turned on, come on. Those ones are always a pain. Let's just do the little ones and then we can do that one later on. But let's see. Oops, a little too far there. Yes, grinding that stump. That one's taken care of. Let's see if we can get this one as well. Man, this skid steer turns so sensitive. It's so sensitive. All right, let's lower that. Yeah. Just have to get the right spot on these stumps. We got them all removed now. This area is pretty close to being prepped. We just need to wait till we have enough cash, and that's just gonna be a couple months from now. We'll be making a lot of money off of lumber, a lot of money off of mushrooms, but I think we can go ahead and shut that off for now. And I think it's a good time to make it January here. And let's look at time-saving stock check here. Yeah, everything's good in March still, and it's showing $75,000 already. So yeah, we'll have plenty, but the obvious next thing is we're gonna need equipment to be able to extract the stones. Just because we get the production doesn't mean we're gonna make money off of it. We're gonna need a tractor or maybe a front loader, a trailer to store the stones, and then find a place that's gonna buy the stones until we can afford to buy that cement factory. And we do have snow on the ground here. Let's go ahead and head over to the cement factory so we can find out the price of it. So here we are. Man, lots of snow here in Minnesota. This is the cement factory. Let's see how much they are wanting it for. 370 grand. So yeah, that's gonna take a little bit to save up, but we can see we have 3 wood planks here, or 3 long planks here. 2 wood beams and 4 planks. Oh, Minnesota winters. Hopefully this clears up by March. My goodness. And we have a good amount here still. Yeah, I think let's check over here on the greenhouse. But we're kind of in a holding pattern until the snow goes away at this point. Man, could we clear the area with our tooling we have? Let me see. What will this do? Not enough power. I think these tracks are just getting stuck. There we go. Maybe we just have it too high. It's just so much snow. That little area right there just made that big of a pile. Oh my goodness. There we can see some dirt. I mean, I believe it. The part of the country we're in. Now I'm super interested. We're gonna get this unstuck, and we should now be on the part that we made actual road, or a dirt road. Now let's lower it. Yeah, just so much snow. Like, I don't even know if the snow equipment in the game is gonna clear up this snow. I can see some dirt now. Yeah, until we get some better equipment to help us take care of this type of stuff, we're snowed in for the winter. Oh, that seemed to work. Pushing it to the side. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty realistic too. Creating these snow banks. Gotta lift it to back up there, bud. Man. Be out here for hours. We need a snowblower. So I am gonna try to sneak over to around the sawmill, because that's the area that we're gonna need to move some things so that we can keep it populated. But we might not be able to do that. It's just, we got so much snow this year. Can already see the rust on this machine coming next year. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're stuck. I think we're stuck there until winter's gone. Man, all right, can this stuff get deposited now? I think it should be able to. Yeah, I took it all, so it's at 41,000 again. Just producing a ton of wood chips, a ton of products for us. Let's see what time-saving stock check is telling us now. Yeah, 140,000, so this is gonna escalate pretty quick, but I don't know what we're gonna do until winter's through. Trees look pretty though. Well, I think we're kind of stuck here until the snow melts. So I think this is where we'll leave today's episode. A little shorter than what I wanted to get done, but the weather is kind of dictating what we're going to be able to do here. And we got this area cleared. We're going to need to save up a lot of money because we got to buy the building, and then we need to buy the equipment to be able to, utilize the building. So lots of money coming in though from the sawmill. Between now and March, I'm hoping we have a really good amount to get us through. I'm SWU. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next episode of SWU Farms.